From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew.
Hello and welcome to episode 199 of the Blind Android Users Podcast. I'm Ed Green and I'm joined today by my co-hosts Warren Carr, John Dyer and Sally Kunders, and we're coming to you on Saturday the 28th of September 2024. It's a busy one this week. After our usual announcements section, we'll turn to Android Basics, where John demonstrates the software update settings in One UI. In our Spotlight section, we'll talk about new products from Samsung and Xiaomi. Warren then unboxes a new foldable phone or flippable phone, the BlackView HERO 10. And we conclude with an app of the week, and it's another GPS one this week, folks. Warren shows you Walker's Guide. How are we all, folks? John Boy, what you been doing?
I've been doing okay. I had a long night last night. My team lost a close game, and I had a hard time sleeping.
You are losing sleep over your team losing.
I am, man. I am.
You are
I wish
so dedicated.
I am. It was a game. So we were playing Miami. They're undefeated. They're ranked number 7. We were supposed to lose that game by like 20 points, and we led it most of the time, and then they scored to take the lead with 2 minutes left, and then we came back down by 4, 5 seconds left, last play of the game, scored a touchdown, and then it was reviewed and overturned. So that one play, last play of the game was overturned.
Yeah, I can
so
see
I dreamt about that review all night long.
So that was Dolphins against...
It's actually Virginia Tech, Miami College.
Oh,
yeah.
college.
It's the college thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see how you feel. I mean, when I used to love football, I'll be pissed off the rest of the week when the Broncos lost. And so I see where you're coming from.
Warren, how are you?
I'm doing well. Weather's continue to change. And so I think we're feeling a little bit of the effect of the, what's that thing from the east? Is it Helene? Or I have no clue how it is spelled, the hurricane thing. And so it's kind of been very windy here. But then in the midst of all of that, we're getting really nice weather. I think it was like 72 degrees. And I think today is probably going to be even closer to 80 degrees. So it's a beautiful thing, but I'm loving it. That fall weather early in the morning is nice, crisp, and all of that. So I'm enjoying my fall.
Nice. Yeah, it's turned cold here as well. It's been very wet. Torrential rain all week today is not too bad. Sally, how are you?
Well, I'm doing well. The week started desperately for me because we lost the derby, the one I was talking about this
Yes.
episode. It was a terrible one. We conceded 3 goals and we scored only 1. That was definitely not good. And the whole week, it was all about how are we going to survive and what's going to happen for the next game. Then was the Europa League game where we won against the Union St. Gilles 2-1. That wasn't too good as well. So Mourinho is being questioned by the fans all around. And besides that, the week had started rainy, and after that we are having kind of sunny weather today. It's like 28 degrees Celsius and 82 degrees F. Yeah, that's all about it. And how are you?
Yeah, very well. That's nice. That's nice weather. Busy work week. Huddersfield have been merrily losing games as well. They've lost 3
really?
again. They lost just before we came on air last Saturday. They lost in midweek and they lost again today. So all going wrong after a promising start to the season. But never mind. Other sporting things have been better. Tottenham have been doing well, but otherwise, busy and wet all week.
It seems like you guys, all of you guys, are on wrong team. So following wrong
Yeah,
team. What's
apparently.
up with that? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you do it only one choice in your life, and you cannot change it anymore.
It
Yep,
sounds
that's
like I'm the
right.
only one doing well for not
Yeah,
following a team. So
yeah.
no
I mean,
heartaches here, no broken
sometimes I'm
hearts,
so
sleepless
jealous,
nights.
but then okay, whenever the game starts, I'm just finding myself watching it, and after that, I say I'm never gonna watch it again, and the next time I'm watching it.
Yeah.
You can't
Exactly.
stay away, especially
No,
No,
if
I
it's
can.
you love them.
when
No.
you're that into your team, like you can't actually enjoy the game. The only time, like for me, the
No.
only time I enjoy it is when we're up by so
You
much
know,
that I know that we're gonna win, and then I can
Yeah,
start
that's
to
right.
relax.
yeah,
Otherwise, I'm just tense the whole time.
you guys know me like a really calm guy and super like not giving, not caring about anything. But when it comes to my team losing, I'm really getting tempted. So yeah.
And now, the announcement segment. This is a segment dedicated to things we want you to be in the know. And now for this week's episode, here's your announcements.
Turning to our announcement section then, and it's the big one next week, folks. It's episode 200. Do join us at what times are we all on? Noon Eastern, isn't it? 5 p.m. whatever time zone we're in here in the UK. I think it's still British summertime. We've not gone back, have we? Yeah, that's right. And it's 9 a.m. Pacific. We will put the link in various places over the coming week on our email channel, on our email group, on our Telegram group, and on Bookface as well. You'll find it there as well. And if you want that link sent to you, do write to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. You'll find that address in the show notes, as well as the links to all the other groups, and you can go to our website and contact us from there. But do please try and join us. It should be a great celebration. You looking forward to it, Warren?
It's a big one, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And we do encourage you guys to come and join us because, my goodness, 200 episodes is a lot of time. And so, guys,
And
come on and let's have a party. Go ahead, Sally. Tell those
and
boys and gals to come on.
just want to say that we are expecting more girls because Warren and I will steal the show.
Exactly my point. We need to show
Yeah,
how good looking we are. And
definitely. Just
frankly,
come and see us live.
yeah, if you come on, I'll have to show my knuckle face on there.
Yeah,
Sally and I,
of
because
course.
we're the star of the show, right, Sally?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. So, seriously, we want to see you guys come on and join us next week. Mark it down on your calendars. We're looking forward to seeing you guys, and we'll just basically have a party
We're
together and just have some fun time.
you're really welcome no matter where you live. Definitely.
Yeah. Do join us and keep an eye out for that link. And if you, as I say, if you do want it, drop us a line and we will send it to you.
And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics.
Now we turn to our Android Basics section, and John continues our tour of One UI settings. And this week, it's software update.
Hello, and welcome back to our series on Samsung's One UI. We're getting pretty close to the end of the settings. Today we'll be covering software updates. So almost all the way to the bottom of the settings, you'll find
Software update. Download and install.
and this is what we're exploring today, so I'm going to go in here.
Software update. Navigate up. Button.
And here's what we have.
Software update. Download and install. Last checked on September 12, 2024. Using mobile data to download may result in additional charges. Using Wi-Fi is recommended.
This is the first item on the screen, and this is where you go to check for updates. So I'm going to double tap here.
Software update. Connecting to server. Navigate up. Button.
And here's what we have.
Software update. Downloading update.
And looks like I have an update just in time for the recording. So let's see what it says.
Software update. Update ready to install.
Okay, so that quickly, it's already downloaded. It must not be a big one.
Update will be automatically installed on Monday, September 30th, 2024 at 5:32 a.m.
So this is when it will install itself if you don't install it.
Security. The device is protected with improved security. A software update can include, but is not limited to, device stability improvements, bug fixes, new and/or enhanced features, further improvements to performance. To get the best from your device, please keep your device up to date and regularly check for software updates. Learn more at https://samsung-mobile.com/sms928u1/bzw/doc.html.
And that's a very long way of saying this is just a security update. Let's see what we have next.
Update information. One UI version 6.1. Android version 14. Version S928U1 was 3xHF, S928U1 on 3xHF, S928U1 was 3xHF. Size 432.13 MB. Security patch level September 1st, 2024.
So this is the security patch for September.
Caution. You won't be able to use your phone during the update, even for emergency calls. Some settings may change after the update. This update shouldn't affect your personal data, but it's always a good idea to back up your data just in case. Schedule install button.
So there's a couple buttons down here. You can schedule the install.
Install now button.
Or install now. I won't do either because I'm in the middle of this demonstration, so I'm going to back out.
Software update. Download and install. New notification. Last checked on September 26, 2024. Using mobile data to download may result in additional charges. Using Wi-Fi is recommended.
And below this we have
Auto download over Wi-Fi. Download software updates automatically when connected to a Wi-Fi network on switch.
you can tell it to automatically download if you want to. I think this is on by default. I don't think I turned this on.
Last update. The last update was installed on September 12, 2024 at 10:01 a.m.
And this is where you would go to see what your current and last update was. I'm going to go in here.
Software update. Navigate up. Button. September 12, 2024 at 10:01 a.m. Last update. One UI update. Galaxy AI. Turn simple sketches into awesome images. Start with a simple drawing, choose your style, and let Galaxy AI transform it into a captivating work of art.
I'm not going to let it read through all of these features because it's very long, but if you want to see the details of the update as far as the numbering, you can just swipe to the next item.
Update information. One UI version 6.1. Android version 14. Version S928U1 Wu3XH7, S928U1 OIM3XH7, S928U1 Wu3XH7. Size 2861.83 MB. Security patch level August 1st, 2024.
And that's it. That's all there is to this software update section. You can check for updates. You can see what your last update was and get the details on either. Now I'm going to send you back to the podcast crew for further discussion while I install this update.
I did smile when you did that, John, because it probably was the day you recorded it. I checked mine and discovered I had the September security patch, and I wondered either whether you'd installed it yet or whether that was going to happen when you recorded it.
Yeah, do comment, guys. I'm wondering, am I the only one? No matter even if you received the update, you go up daily check your updates. Is it just me or
No, I don't. I don't. I don't check my updates, so it's probably been there for a while. I hadn't actually picked up that phone for a while, so I don't
Yeah.
know when it came in, but it was there to try to interrupt my demonstration. But hey, it worked out
Yeah.
because I demonstrate how to get an update, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, my phone received 2 updates in September. First one was a big update, and it was with August security patch, and then I received the September one separately. So that was a really good month for me. Like I was checking the updates, and finally I found another.
Yeah, because I heard that Samsung release monthly update, security patch updates quite close to the start of the month. And when 6.1.1 came down, I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's August," and I'm still quite far through September. So I don't have to. So I did keep checking it. So I don't think it had been there that long. Like not quite every day, but certainly within a week I checked it and it wasn't there. But yeah, that was quite funny.
So for me, though, that 6.1 or 6.11, although it doesn't say 6.11, for some reason, it was a big one. Maybe, I think it was maybe over
Yeah, like
2 gigs or something.
2.9 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Sally says, though, mine was showing September, August,
Yeah.
whatever, for the security patch date. And then I haven't bothered to check again to see if there's an actual September security patch. So I don't know. It's
Your
kind of
S23
odd.
Plus will have one.
Yeah, and Samsung usually always close, they release their security patches, on time, but sometimes it kind of takes a little while, maybe like toward the middle of the month or whatever. So it's not consistent, but at least you'll get it within that month, or if something else happens, at least early next month, but most of the time you'll get it within that month. So I think they're consistent then.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if October catches up or whether it will kind of stay pushed out. So when we install updates, folks, do we like the Samsung way of doing it, or do we like the Pixel Fisher-Price? Your phone's going to optimize for absolutely ever, and it's going to take ages.
I'm on Team Samsung.
Google has changed that, though, so you can be saying that.
Has it changed it?
Yeah, it's faster. Before it was so, gosh, that thing was effing stupid. Excuse my Espanol.
Google hasn't changed it.
It's a little better than what it used to be.
It's
But it
better,
still
it's
does it.
quicker, but you still have to let it do it. You still have to install it in the background. It may not take as long as it used to, but
No,
what
it
Ed is
doesn't.
asking is, do we prefer installing it when our phone restarts, or do we like letting it take a longer time to install it in the background while we're using our phone? I prefer just like letting it restart and install itself whenever I want to do it.
Yeah, see, I prefer to be able to use my phone while it's doing its thing in the background.
I like the Samsung way. I think I quite like the way it does it.
It really
just do
doesn't
it.
take too long. Like
No.
it's never taken more than 5 minutes for me, really.
Yeah, but when it comes back up, it takes longer than the Google one when it's done. So I guess you take whichever one you want. They're both trade-offs here. Do you want to be able to do something while you're updating, or would you rather just wait and get done before you work on something? So I don't think there's a losing in any case. It just depends on what someone prefers. Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight.
Let's turn to our Spotlight section then, and we have two product releases to talk about. That is product releases from two firms. Each has released more than one product. We have the fan editions coming down the track from Samsung, and we have the T series coming down the track from Xiaomi. Let's start with Samsung then, and we have a few things, don't we? We've got an S24 Fan Edition, the FE. We've got the mobile version of the Galaxy Watch FE, and was there a tablet as well?
Yeah, the Tab S10 series was
Yeah,
released.
10 is 10 Plus and Ultra.
That's right. So, shall we start with the S24 Fan Edition?
Yeah, I watched the thing they announced the phone. I can say that from it's not too good upgrade like concerning those technical specs. It still comes with 128 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM, and if you're getting 256, you still get 8 gigs. So I was hoping maybe it's gonna get 12, but it's still on 8. I was really hoping to get in 12, but still it's on 8. And one another thing is it's going to come with Exynos 2400C. It's going to be 10 cores, and it's going to be another upgrade. They say it's going to work really well, but let's see how it's going to happen. For the 23 FE version, it had two versions. On United States, it had the Smart Dragon version, and in the rest of the world, it had a Exynos version. But this one is coming with Exynos processor all around the world.
Yeah. It does have a 512 though, doesn't it? And the S24
It
does.
has, but still as 8 gigs
8
of RAM.
gig,
I don't know
it's
why.
still only 8 gig. Yeah, yeah.
But-
and it's quite a bit bigger display, isn't it? Although apparently
yeah,
not as
like
good a display.
from the 23 FE, it had 6.4 inches, and now it has 6.7 inches.
For the 23 FE, it was like it fell between the regular S23 and the S23 Plus, but this time it's basically the same size as the S24 Plus. Yeah,
exactly.
But not as good quality display.
Yeah, and it's gonna cost you $649, and it's gonna get 7 years of major Android upgrades. This is probably the cheapest you're getting, the 7 years of OS updates, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're interested to see if the 9A follows that. Although I guess the weird thing about it, and it won't come down this far yet, but the S24 has been out a while. So are there deals on the S24 that put it pretty close to the S24 FE?
Yeah,
so I think, there are deals. And frankly, I don't know if I were to even buy a regular S24, if I find it on a better deal, I probably will take that over the FE edition, even though I like the size. But I think that Snapdragon, though, I'll take that any day over this Exynos. I'm not trying to poo-poo the Exynos, but I think the battery could probably be better with the Snapdragon. I don't know, guys.
So, speaking of battery, on 23 FE we had 4500, and now we have 4700. So it's an upgrade.
Yeah, bigger screen as well, though, isn't
it? Yeah, of course.
Maybe it needs
though, it doesn't make any difference.
For those who are curious,
well, it does it for the battery, because you need the battery's going to need to do more work to power that display.
Yeah.
I think it might be a good option for, like you said, if you're looking for just an S24, that's definitely the better buy. But if you're looking for something the size of the S24 Plus and you don't necessarily care about specs, then this would save you some money, because that's $1,000 phone. And it's even on sale, maybe you could get it for 800. So this would still be far cheaper than that. So I can see that as being the only real reason to get this phone.
Yeah, maybe that's the better benchmark, actually, because of the size. Maybe you are saying it's plus against the FE this year. So the watch, I think we'd had one FE watch, hadn't we, earlier in the year, the Wi-Fi version, and this one is the mobile one, isn't it? The LTE.
Yeah, so this is the mobile one. So I think it was a few months ago, I recall us talking about it on here, and that was like $199, and I think we were saying it was a little bit too expensive, because essentially, though, this is exactly, you're getting the Galaxy Watch 4. It just rebranding of that model to the FE. But I'm glad though that they finally brought the LTE model. So if you're like me and you don't like that Wi-Fi thing or Bluetooth thing, at least now you could just get that mobile one for $249, which is cheaper than what the LTE version was for the Galaxy Watch 4. Does anyone remember how the LTE version cost? Was it $299? I don't remember.
$249 is it? I think.
For the Galaxy Watch 4, the LTE model.
Oh, sorry.
I don't remember.
The 4. No, I'm not. I think this one is $249, isn't it?
Yeah, this one is $249. So, like I said, it's just a rebranding of that Watch 4. So, if you're looking for something and you don't mind the price, I think it's a good price. But or it could go down on sale or something. So, at least we have something for someone who wants to get into the watch thing if you've never been.
And I think I saw a pre-order bundle deal where if you're interested in both the FE phone and the watch, you can. I don't know if it was get the watch for free or get the watch half off or something, but keep that in mind if you are interested in both.
And I think the Chromebook deal still carries forward with the FE, doesn't it? As well, I think they will give you a Chromebook if you order it. I'm pretty sure I saw.
Yeah, they usually have. Samsung has some of the best pre-order deals usually.
Yeah. So check that out if you are interested.
And sometimes some of these things depends on the region. Some regions may get some really nice, sweet deals, and then other regions kind of just left dry. So
Yeah,
check that to be sure.
Upgrade pricing in the US is better than the UK typically, even on Samsung. I mean, Samsung's still pretty good compared to the other UK offerings, but the US seems to get better upgrade deals. So let's turn to the tablet then. I always like it when names come around and they name things after other devices that used to exist. Does anyone have an S10? Like a phone S10? Was that a 2019 phone, I think?
I have an E10. So
that was before I jumped on the there. Yeah, there was an S10e, wasn't there? The smaller
Yeah.
one.
there's
fingerprint sensor in
S10e,
the power.
and then there's the E10. Or or I have something, a little something. I think.
Yeah,
it's
I think it
called
was the
E10.
S10e. It was like smaller and it had the fingerprint sensor in the side key.
Yeah. It was just as I switched, I could have got the S20 was out, so I could have got the S20, the S10, or what I got, which was an A90, because it was cheaper. But yeah, the S10. I know people liked that phone. So, do we know anything about this tablet?
Yeah, so I guess the big story here is that they've axed. It seems like they've axed the regular S10. There's no S10 Tab S10, I should say. There's only Tab S10 Plus and Tab S10 Ultra. So if you prefer the 11-inch size, you don't get that option this time around. Maybe they'll offer an FE or something going forward. But as far as like the premium tablet experience, they're not offering that size, which is kind of good and bad for me because that's the size I use, and I would have been tempted to upgrade, and now I'm not tempted to upgrade. So yeah, it's very incremental. They've switched to using MediaTek Dimensity chips this time around. They're slightly better than last generation. They used the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processors in there, so it's a little better than that. But the hardware is the same on both models, basically. The screens have a new like anti-reflective coating that they're bragging about, but the actual screen itself, I think, is literally the same on both as they were last time. So very minor upgrades here.
It's weird being able to call something a plus if you don't have anything for it to be a plus of, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you need a standard version, otherwise it's not plus, is it? It's just it.
Yeah, well, most especially if that's what you have conditioned us to thinking, and then you're giving us a plus without the standard base
Other one.
model, then
Yeah.
who are we fooling here?
Yeah, and even more confusing is that their A series of tablets the plus doesn't mean 12.4. Plus means like 10.5. And then the non-plus is like the 8-inch screen. So it's like they're all over the place.
So let's move on to the second range of products that were released this week then. And it was one of my old manufacturers, Xiaomi, came out with its T series of phones, so the 14T and the 14 Pro. Interesting this, not least because I think the 14 came out almost a year ago. So they've really left a long time between the T series and the thing that it's a T series of. Anyone tempted by any of these? It's more expensive than the Samsung, so perhaps not. But some interesting things I thought about this.
How expensive is it? Is it
$7.99, I think. What it
so
does have,
that's
though,
not too bad.
No.
Is that the T or the T Pro? Because
the T Pro, I think.
oh well,
think I
if the
looked at-
T Pro is $799 or $800, that's definitely cheaper than Samsung's offering, isn't it?
Well, Samsung's FE was
Oh, you're talking about the FE. Oh, I was thinking of
it's a
the
T.
flagship.
Yeah, so the T is kind of, I mean, perhaps it's unfair to compare them to the FE, but it's the you get the series, which is nominally better, and then you get the T, which is what they used to call the flagship killer. Although this time, because it's been so long, I think the T's got some interesting things. It does use the MediaTek Dimensity instead of the Snapdragon, which the 14 uses, but the T has 144 hertz refresh rate, which is kind of interesting, and the 14 doesn't. So it's, there are reasons to pick the T over the 14, I think.
Yeah. Now,
So
do
is
we
it-
know how much the T Pro cost though? Because there are
think-
two. The 14T and 14T Pro.
Sorry,
They really
the
like
14.
the T's, don't they?
Yeah, the 14 doesn't have, like, the 14 proper doesn't have the 144. The T series does. So I'll have a look. I think the T Pro was $799, but I'll check.
So is this just a happy accident that the T series ships with Android 14, or was this done on purpose? Has it been like that with Xiaomi for a while now?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it didn't. So my 12T Pro had 14 before I decided to get a new phone. They've had 14 for a while. Under the skin of HyperOS, which is has replaced MIUI, or at least has been rebranded. So yeah, the 12, yeah, the 12 has had 14.
The cat. Well, to be fair to Xiaomi, though, even Google hasn't released whatever updated there. So I think it has to come with 14, and I hope though that as soon as the 15 comes out, that they will also jump on it. Did yours ever get an update, Ed, or did it just languish on what it came on?
No, it got updates to 14, but the updates are really inconsistent. So it would not get updates forever, and then it would get 3 in 2 months. So there was one point where I was stuck on a security patch for 7 months, and then I would get 3. I would get the next month's 3 patches because HyperOS got an update. So it's really patchy, really inconsistent, but it was still being updated at the time I gave it up.
Well, at least you get some update. I think to never get it is a problem, but even if I don't get it for a while, but then it's there, I think it's still good unless something very severe happens that it really is going to crash my phone or whatever. But as long as you get that update later on, I think it's all good, isn't it? And now, the unboxing segment. This is the segment dedicated to the unboxings of phones, tablets, watches, or any hardware device having to do with Android. And now, here's this episode's unboxing.
So now we turn to our unboxing, and Warren has a new phone for us. It's a foldable or flippable phone, and it is from a Chinese manufacturer, BlackView. So he unboxes the Hero 10.
Hi, Warren here for Blind Android Users Podcast, and this is unboxing the Hero 10, a foldable from a Chinese company called BlackView. As you know, I'm not into foldable, no flip phones, but I thought that I would get this since it's cheaper than the rest of the competition out there. If you don't want to plop down $1,800 or $2,200 just to get a foldable, this may be something that you want to get because it's like $700. And besides, I got it on sale and it was right around $400. But primarily, I want to check to see if this is accessible, and if it is, then we have another option in the class of foldables, and people can opt to buy this one instead of putting down a lot of money. So that's what I have, and I'll be unboxing this and checking out for accessibility. I got that box in my hand, and now I'm going to tear it open so we could check it out and see what it is like with this device, and if it's something that we could recommend or not recommend. Let's go ahead and open this box up and see what's in there. There we go. That's opening the shipping box. And now, here's the device. Feels kind of heavy, so let's see if I can find where to tear the plastic off. There we go. And see if there's any tabs on the box I need to undo. No, it just pulls up. There we go. Let's see what comes in the box. Right on top is the phone. Wow, yeah, it's a big phone. And in the box, besides the phone, looks like some part of a case. Oh boy, it looks pink. I don't know about that. Oh, there's the other half. And then, like a little soft foam there. Trying to see if there's a booklet. And oh yeah, there's a wall charger in the box, and I also assume that there will be also a USB cord here for sure. Let's see. Yep, a big long USB cord in there, and definitely a USB-C. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go for the phone. You know me, I always go after the phone. I'm not into describing boxes, what's in the box, what it looks like. So let's see here. Put these things back. All right, let's see if I can put that phone together in the pink looking case. Wow, this is interesting. There we go. Take out the phone. Has a little envelope in there. Oh my, it's so hard to get that envelope off. There we go. Now describing the phone, I'm holding it in my hand now. And on the right side, we got the volume bar. And then below that is the power key, which is more flush with the device. And continuing along that right side, I don't feel anything. Let's now feel the left side and see what we find. I don't feel something there on the left side. The back is like some kind of a leather. I think that's what it is. Feels like it to me. Definitely is leather of some sort. And then at the bottom, I think on the far right at the bottom is the speaker grill, the USB-C port in the middle, and I think here too, the left is the SIM card tray. I'm not positive on that. And then on the top, what feels to be like maybe antenna or something. Let me get the box again, see where the SIM card is, so I'm not giving you wrong information. It has to be somewhere in here. Maybe with this. I got a SIM card removal tool, and I'm going to try it at that bottom to the left of the USB port. Let's see. Let's be careful. I don't want to punch any holes. Yep, there it is. So the SIM card tray is to the left of the USB-C port. I pull it out and it's a single SIM and doesn't appear like we have an SD card here. I don't see any. So put that back in. All right. Now the camera, I'm feeling the camera. I feel something that looks like a big camera bar in the middle, and then on the right, we got two camera bumps. Maybe it only has two. I don't know. Now I'm going to put those little covers halves in there. This one is for the top. Let's see. There we go. Then put the bottom half. There we go. And if I fold it, there we go. All right, I'm going to turn it on. I hope it comes on and has accessibility. I felt the vibration. And I'm waiting. I hope this thing is good, because at $700, that's cheaper than most of the foldables out there. So I'm waiting. And of course, I always wait to make sure that it's on that setup screen before I try to enable accessibility. First of all, though, I'm going to try either the legacy mode of holding down two fingers on the face of the screen. And then if that doesn't work, I'll try holding down the two volume keys to see if that enables accessibility. I would like to believe that by now, though, we are now on that setup screen. I can see it some, and I don't see anything moving, and I'm assuming that it is. So I'll now put down my two fingers in the middle of the phone and hold. I'm holding.
Continue touching the screen until you hear a beep to enable accessibility mode.
All right.
Accessibility mode enabled. Talkback on.
Wow.
Welcome to Talkback. Welcome to
I'm going to
Talkback.
turn up the volume a little bit.
Welcome to Talkback. Page 1 of 5. Talkback provides spoken
All
feedback.
right.
Close tutorial. Close tutorial. You can come back. Close. But allow Android Accessibility Suite to send you notifications. Allow button.
I want to see how...
Double tap to
I
activate.
don't think I like the speaker too well.
Don't allow button. Allow button. Don't allow. Hi there. Language. English United States button.
Wow.
Dub start button. Connect to mobile network heading.
All right, now, so I'm going to go connect to my mobile network.
If you have SIM cards, insert them now.
No, I don't.
Skip button.
Skip it.
Double tap to activate. Connect to Wi-Fi. Select a network. 1 of 4. In list. 4 items.
Okay, mine is the mesh.
Connect to the mesh, Wi-Fi, the mesh, password, edit box, out of list.
All right, guys.
Password keyboard.
I'm going to pause the recording here and enter my password, and then I'll be right back. All right, I just finished typing in the Wi-Fi password.
Connect, button. Keyboard hidden. Getting your phone ready, heading, out of list. A13B02 underscore to underscore A14B1.
This doesn't feel too bad. It's not
survey.
as big.
BlackView HERO product satisfaction survey. Update phone.
Oh
Heading.
no, I don't think I want your satisfaction. Well, I could.
Your phone needs to download an update and restart. Size 1.36 gigabytes.
Oh my
By
goodness.
continuing and receiving this software update, you agree to the
Just
Google
right off
terms
the
of
bat,
service.
guys.
Next button. Double tap to system update. Checking for update. Heading.
Oh,
System
boy.
update available. Downloading updates over a cellular network, metered Wi-Fi, or while roam. 1. OS upgrade. 2. Fixed some system problems.
Okay. And at the bottom.
Download and install button. Installing system update. Installing system update. Heading.
That's
System
really
update
interesting.
downloading.
Maybe I should have told it not to, and then finish setting up,
System
and
update
then
available. Battery too low or in battery saving mode.
okay. So that's a good thing. Battery is too low or in battery saving mode. I'm gonna go plug it in. I'll be right back. I'll pause this, find a charger, and plug it in. Let's see here.
Charging started, battery level 37%.
Oh,
Installing
no wonder.
System update.
That's why it was low, 37%.
0%. Progress bar.
Okay, I think it has resumed the installation.
Downloading and installing update. Update size 1.36 gigabytes. Pause button.
All right, so I'm going to pause this recording and I'll come back and we'll continue work on it. I kind of like it. This might actually convince me to use a foldable, so it's not as big as the one that I had from Google. It feels like my phone. It's just that it's a foldable. Very interesting. So I'll be back after the update is done. I'll pause this recording right here.
Charging stopped, battery level 100%. Screen on. Checking for update. System update available. Update size 1.36 gigabytes. System update.
All right, so I'm back. It seems it's done. And at the bottom left,
Restart after 2 o'clock button.
or
Restart now
to
button.
the right, restart now. I'm going to tap there.
System update installing.
And now I'm just going to give it some time to restart. I felt a vibration, and I'll see how long it will take it to get to where we'll continue with the setup. I had no clue as to what it came with. In other words, I have no clue as to what version of Android it came with, but this update sounds like it's an OS update, and we'll see what version of Android it is once it gets to where we could see the version of the app. So here I am waiting for it to get to where we will continue with the setup process. All right, I saw that the screen just changed a little bit, and that's telling me we're getting close to where we'll be back to the setup screen. So I'm still waiting and still waiting. There we go.
Initial setup is completed. Tap to finish initial setup. Welcome to TalkBack, page 1 of 5. Close tutorial. Close tutorial.
There we go.
You can come back. Stay in tutorial button. Close button. Connect to mobile network heading. If you have SIM cards, insert them now.
Oh, mobile network.
Double tap to activate.
Skip that.
Getting your phone ready heading.
And I'm waiting while the phone is being
Just a few
prepped.
moments. In progress. Progress bar. Copy apps and data. You can choose to transfer your apps, photos, contacts, Google account,
Okay,
and
so
more.
I'm going to tell it to copy.
Next button. Use another device. You need another Android device, or an iPhone or iPad. Turn it on, and keep it unlocked. Can't use other device. But next button.
Okay, I'm going to use my Samsung device, or maybe I'll go grab one of my Pixel phones. I have my Pixel here. I think I have my Samsung. I'm just going to tell it, copy something from my Samsung device.
Can't use other device. You need another Android device.
Okay,
Next button.
I'm going to go next.
Find your other device's cable. Use a cable that fits your other device. This is usually the cable used for charging.
Well, I guess I could do that, or I could simply say, hey, I can't use another device and let it make me sign into my device. But I'm just going to let it bring my other apps from another device by using the cable. So I'm going to lean over here, get that cable from the charger. There we go. So let's plug it in here. And I'm going to grab my S23 Plus and plug it in. Okay.
Connected to your new device. Preparing. Out of pager.
Okay.
Transfer in progress. Keep both devices on and connected
Check
using
your
the
other
cable.
device.
Connected to your Hero 10.
Check your other device.
Setup.
Heading.
Copy data to your new device. Copy. Button. Unlock to continue setting up your device. Device setup. Copying your accounts. Heading. New sign in on BlackView HERO 10. Your Google account was signed in
Getting
too.
ready to copy.
New sign in on
Choose what
BlackView
to
HERO
copy
10.
on the
Your
next
Google
screen.
account was signed in too. Continue setup on your Hero 10. Accessibility
Okay.
volume
Progress.
set to
Progress
71%.
bar. Choose what to copy on the next screen.
All right. We haven't seen that next screen
In
yet.
progress. Progress bar.
Continue setup on your Hero 10.
Choose what to copy.
Heading
Choose
window,
what to
continue
copy.
setup on
Heading.
your Hero
In
10.
list.
Okay.
17 gigabytes of 187 gigabytes available storage. About 12 minutes. Heading.
That's what we got. So that's what I have on this. So I'm going to go to
Copy. Button. Out of list.
copy there at the bottom
Double
right.
tap to act. Copying your data.
Heading.
In progress. Progress bar. Getting account info. Heading. Google services. Google services. Collapsed. Use basic device backup. Easily restore your data or switch. More. Button. More. But. Accept. But. Pin. Set a pin. Pin. Edit box. Showing numeric password keyboard.
All right. I'm going to type in my pin here. And guys, I'm not going to share my pin with you. So sorry about that. But let me type in my pin and I'll be right back.
Pin. 6 characters. Edit box.
All right. I just put in my pin.
Use your fingerprint to unlock your Hero 10 or verify it's you. Like when you sign into apps or approve a
Okay.
More. I agree. Touch the sensor. It's on the right of your phone. Use your finger.
Aha. So it seems it's not an in-glass screen reader or fingerprint reader. It's on the power. Let me try that and see what happens.
Lift.
Yep.
Then touch again.
Sure enough, it's
Lift.
on the
Then
power.
touch
I
again.
hit those.
Keep your fingerprint flat on the sensor until you feel a vibration. Lift finger, then touch sensor again. Enrolled in same area, please move your finger and try again. Press firmly on the sensor. Enrolled in same area, please move your finger and try again. Place the tip of your finger on the sensor. Place the
Okay.
tip of your finger on the sensor. Lift finger, then touch sensor again. Enrolled in same area, please move your finger and try again. Press firmly on the sensor.
That's so chatty.
Place the right edge of your finger. Place the right edge of your finger. Keep lifting your finger to add the different parts of your fingerprint. Press firmly on the sensor. Fingerprint added. Now you can use your fingerprint to unlock your phone or verify it's you. Like done.
All right.
Google. Checking. Heading. Google. If you agree, Google Assistant will wait in standby mode to detect. More. Button.
Okay.
Skip.
Back on.
I agree. Button. Voice match enrollment. Activate voice match to use. More. But. No
There we
thanks.
go.
Button. I agree. I agree. Button. Google. Access your assistant without unlocking your device. I agree. Google Pay. In progress. Progress bar.
I'm going to skip that Google Pay
Check
for
out
now.
fast with your phone. Skip. But anything else? Heading.
Nope, don't think so.
Control info on lock screen. Row 2, column 1, in grid, 2 rows, 2 column. No thanks, but still copying. Keep devices connected and turned on.
Yeah, my device is still turned on.
30%, progress bar. 31%. Labels available. Use tap with 3 fingers to view.
Wow, so far everything though seems accessible. Once it's done, I will let you know how long it took to copy those things, and then I'll continue the unboxing / review
35%.
right in there. We're up to 35%, which means I have about 64%
36%.
to go. So I'll be right back once it's done
37%.
copying. I will now just simply pause this recording, and once it's done, I'll continue with this unboxing / review. All right, let's check to see how far we're getting along with the copying.
98%. Progress bar.
Oh, there we go.
99%.
There we
Labels
go.
available.
We're
Use
almost
tap
there.
with 3 fingers to view.
And
About 1 minute left.
you can't take 1 minute to finish that 1%. But let's see what happens. It's at
99%. Progress bar.
99%.
Labels
And
available.
I'm waiting for
Use
it
tap
to
with 3 fingers
get
to
to
view.
that 100%, and looks like it's saying it's about a minute.
Copying's done.
There we go.
Copying's done. You can disconnect the cable. Heading in list.
All right, I'll go ahead and disconnect the cable.
Charging stock battery level 47%.
There we go. That's my other phone. Thank you for helping. And
Done. Button.
I tap done at the
Getting
bottom
your
of the
phone
screen.
ready. This may take a few minutes.
It's not sounding bad. I thought the speaker was a little tinny, but actually it's not sounding too bad.
Getting your phone ready. Heading.
Whoa.
Settings. Terms of use and representations.
Whoa, it got my, I guess my speech set up, but I don't think it was that fast.
Agree. Button.
Wow.
Yep. Please read the following terms carefully before using Doke Phone. Click on its title can open the file for reading. Using Doke devices means that you have read the privacy policy and agree with the user license agreement.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to see if I could.
Speech rate. Speech rate. Speech rate 56%.
Okay.
Please read the following terms carefully before using Doke Phone. Click on its title can open the file for reading. Using Doke devices means that you have read the privacy policy and agree with the user license agreement.
I have no clue what that is. I'm going to find the spelling of the word.
Links. Control. Heading. Paragraph. Lines. Please read the following terms carefully before using Doke Phone. Click.
Okay.
Words. On. On. Click. Phone. Doke. Character. Capital D. O. K. E. X. Space.
I have no idea what Doke phone is. Oh, of course, it's coming from China. There's no telling.
Privacy policy. User license agreement. Checked. Check box. Double. I have read and agree to the terms of use listed above.
I don't know if I should.
Checked. Check box. Not checked.
I say I do not agree. Let's see what happens.
Agree. Button. Disabled.
Oh, I don't even have. I don't agree.
I have read and agree to the
So-
terms of use listed above. Agree. But
I
I have read and
guess-
not checked. Checked.
It kind of bothers me though. There's no skip.
I have read and agree. Settings. System navigation.
All right, let's see what's going on.
System navigation.
Now we come to system navigation.
Selected. Radio button.
So we got
Double tap to toggle.
the,
Gestural
the
navigation.
gesture navigation, or
Not selected.
There we
Radio
go.
button. 3 buttons navigation.
all right.
Next. Button.
What next?
Device unlocked.
All right.
Home. Search. Actions available. Use tap with 3 fingers to view.
We are now on the home screen, and I don't think it copied my home screen. I can see,
Home. Home.
and I'm not
Actions
seeing
available.
my
Use tap with 3 fingers to
my folders or my apps. I'm gonna move, see if there's a next page.
home screen 2 of 2.
Oh, there are 2 home screens. Let me see what we got.
0. Steps.
Oh,
Double
there's
tap
a
to
step
activate.
counter.
Live wallpaper. Clock. Clock. Folder. Folder. Folder underscore name underscore apps. 4 or more items.
Oh my goodness!
Notebook. Notebook.
Wow.
Workspace. Easy share. Child mode. Child mode. Focus mode. Game mode. Weather. Data migration assistant.
Wow.
Double tap
All
to
right, so
activate.
that's
Double
what we
tap and hold
have.
to-
I'm gonna go to the settings.
Notification shade. On. Wi-Fi signal full.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is actually turn off the talkback sounds because those things bother me.
Talkback menu. Talkback settings.
All right,
Talkback
let's go
settings.
turn off some
Navigate up.
stuff here.
Verbosity. 4 of 18. Verbosity. Verbosity. Speak usage hints. After off. Always speak number of list.
Okay, let's
Talkback
go
setting.
back.
Sound and vibration. Sound and vibration.
And
Sound feedback. Off. Vibration feedback. On. Switch. Off.
all right, that's it. I'm gonna go back home.
Home.
And
Child
now
mode.
let's
Out
go
of
look
list.
at
Notification
the
shade.
settings.
Quick settings. Edit order of settings. Open settings. Button.
So what we have here is like what we have on a Samsung device, where the open system settings is found near the top, not at the bottom as we have on a Pixel device. So I'm going to go into open system settings,
Notification shade. Settings. Settings. Out of list.
and let's take a look
Settings. Search settings.
at the search settings.
Wi-Fi. The mesh. 2 of 30.
Okay.
Bluetooth. Off. 3 of 30. Android Auto. 4 of 30. SIM cards and traffic management. 5 of 30.
SIM card and traffic management.
Other wireless connection. 6 of 30.
Interesting.
Display. 8 of 30. Back screen. 9 of 30. Wallpaper and personalization. 10 of 30. Sound and vibration. 11 of 30. Gestures and keys. 12 of 30. Apps and notifications. 13 of 30. Auxiliary function. 14 of 30.
Wow.
Security. 16 of 30. Privacy. 17 of 30. Location. 18 of 30. Safety and emergency. 19 of 30. Battery. 21 of 30. Storage. 22 of 30. Accessibility. 24 of 30. Digital well-being and parental controls. 25 of 30. Passwords and accounts. 26 of 30. Google. 27 of 30. System. 29 of 30. About phone. 30 of 30.
All right, let's take a quick look at the About phone.
About phone. Navigate up. About phone. Navigate up. Button. Dokio's 4.0.
Oh, so it's Dock OS. That's what it is, I believe.
Speech rate. Characters. Words. Dokio's. Dokio's.
Yeah, so that's Dock, DOKES.
Characters. Capital D. O. K. E. Capital O. Capital S.
There we
Sierra.
go. So the skin is called Dock, DOKE, or maybe it's Doki, or Kidoki. Let's keep going.
Hero 10 underscore Noi underscore M9906A underscore V1.0.
I want to see the Android version.
Hero 10. Storage space. Used. 32.8 gigabytes. 256 gigabytes. Model. Hero 10. Processor. MediaTek Helio G99. 8-core max 2.2 GHz. Column 2.
Okay.
Battery capacity. 4,000 milliamp hours. Row 2. Column 1.
Next.
RAM. 12.0 gigabytes. Plus 8.00 gigabytes. Column 2.
I have no clue.
Display size. 1080x2560. row 3, column 1.
Next.
Camera, rear facing 108 megapixels plus front facing 32 megapixels, column 2. All parameters and information, out of grid. Legal information. Status information, safety tips. Certification. RF radiation exposure level and specific absorption rate information.
Okay, I don't see the Android version. I'm going to go back. Maybe it's hiding somewhere here.
Settings. About phone.
Let's
30
look
of 30.
at the system.
System. Date and time. Reset option. RAM fast startup Excel. Backup. 7 of 12. Control center. Experimental.
Let's see what's in experimental.
Experimental. Navigate up. Experimental. Screen notch. 2 of 2. In list. 2
Wow.
items.
Okay.
System.
I'm trying to find
11
what
of
the
12.
Android
In
version
list.
is.
12
I'm going to go
items.
back to that about. It has to be in that about.
Settings. About phone. About
Let's
phone.
look here.
Model. Hero 10. Row 1. Column 1. Processor. Battery RAM. Display camera. All parameters and information.
I think we'll look here.
All parameters and information. Model. Hero 10. Processor. MediaTek Helio. ROM. 256 gigabytes. Row 2. RAM. 12.0. Display size. 1080x. Camera. Rear facing. Android version. 14. Out of grid.
Aha. So it must have come with Android 13
Checking
and
for
got
updates for where.
updated to Android 14.
Tokyo's 4.0.
There we go.
Build number. Hero 10 underscore Noya.
So unlike the
Screen on.
Galaxy Fold or Galaxy Flip or the Google Fold, this does not have a usable screen on the upside. It has something next to the camera, which is like a clock. So it has a circular screen there, but basically that looks to me, it's like a clock. It's not something we can interact with. And now, before I bring this to a close, so I would like to test the microphone to see what it sounds like. And I do believe I have HiQ recorder in here, so let's search for that.
Capital H. Capital I.
Let's see what I got.
High Q. Window.
All right,
Keyboard hidden. High Q. List. Button.
let's see if it has stereo settings.
Permissions required. HiQ MP3 recorder needs the following permissions to record audio. Grant permissions. Allow HiQ MP3 recorder to record audio while using the app.
Okay.
Allow HiQ MP3 recorder to access photos, videos, music, audio, and other files on this device. Allow. Settings. Navigate up. Button.
Okay, I'm in settings.
Interface. Recording.
Let's look at the recording.
Recording. Format. MP3. Bit rate. 100. Gain. 0. Mic selection. Front microphone. Front microphone. Not selected. Radio button. Rear microphone. Not selected. Radio button. Raw audio. No
I'll try.
pre-processing. Recording.
Raw
Mic
audio.
selection. Stereo. Use both microphones if available. Not checked.
It's
Recording.
testing. There we go.
Stereo. Use both microphones if
All right,
available.
now I'm going to go back.
Check. Change recording storage folder. Your recordings will be stored in the folder you choose on the following screen. Cancel. OK. HiQ MP3 recorder. Navigate up. Alarms. And audio.
I'm gonna put it in
dot
recordings.
Download. Music. Note of pictures. Podcast. Recordings.
Recordings.
OK. Settings. Recording. In list.
Now I'm going to go back
HiQ.
and I'm going to try to
Settings.
record.
Stop. Button. Record. Button. Don't allow. Allow. Allow HiQ MP3. Allow.
Yeah.
Button.
Hello, this is testing the BlackView HERO 10 and I'm doing this recording on the HiQ MP3 recorder and I'll now conclude this recording.
Stop.
All right, let's see.
HI list. HI list. Hi QMP tip. Play the close. But September 27th. Play.
All right.
Play. 1 of 8. In Hi QMP3 recorder.
Don't
September
allow.
27th,
Allow.
2024
Allow
today.
QMP3
At 2:46
allow.
p.m. 024.
Hello,
370.
this is testing the BlackView HERO 10, and I'm doing this recording on the HiQ MP3 recorder, and I'll now conclude this recording.
Stop.
Okay, so I will include that in this
Home.
recording
Steps.
as well, and so you could hear the difference. Hello, this is testing the BlackView HERO 10, and I'm doing this recording on the HiQ MP3 recorder, and I'll now conclude this recording.
Stop.
And with that, I would come to the end of this demonstration of the BlackView 10, that is the HERO 10 from BlackView. Thanks for listening.
So I think Warren, one of the things you mentioned about this phone when we were talking beforehand is it's not a 5G phone, is it?
Yeah, so it's not a 5G, it's an LTE, basically 4G phone. And I sure feel like a hero for getting that phone. So we'll see what happens, whether I'm going to keep it or send that baby back home to mama. I'm going to be playing with it some more. And if needs be, I think next week I'll mention something about it in the event that someone would like to, buy something like that. Because to be honest, if you've been wanting a foldable, and we know those things are almost like $2,000 or, $2,200 in the case of a Samsung one. So if you're looking for a foldable, this is a very good place to start. You couldn't go wrong with this phone if the 5G is not a deal breaker for you. Like I said, I'll talk about that some more next week when we have our celebration and whether this is something I would recommend or not.
But just to be clear, this is more like the Galaxy Z Flip, right? It folds shut and it has a cover screen, and then you have to open it to use it, right?
Yeah, so it's basically like a flip, but it's not.
But the cover screen doesn't.
Yeah, and it's not like so. If you are thinking, but the size when it falls, so the flips are like just feel more like your traditional flip phones. So this one is like a foldable, regular foldable, but it's just like up the top and bottom part. It's not like side by side type thing. So the fold falls like a flip, but it's a wider flip. Maybe that's be the best way to describe it. So yeah, and then it becomes very small. It fits in your palm, and that's what I like about it.
So you can't use it while it's shut, basically.
No, you can't use it while it's shut because there's a little clock size screen next to the two cameras there, and I haven't tried it, but it just didn't say anything. I think that screen is not accessible to us. I'll go into its settings and see if there's anything I could do to make it accessible. And then another thing I didn't try was the camera. I wonder if the camera is accessible. I highly doubt, but I don't want to prejudge it. I'll try it, and then I'll mention that next week when we celebrate.
Sounds good. I was surprised it only had one SIM as well. But do you know if it's got eSIM capability, or if you've not had to dig around in that? Because sometimes that's what they do, isn't it? One physical, one E.
Yeah, I have to dig around and see if it does, but I don't think it would, but it might. But the thing that surprises me, though, is that it doesn't have an SD card slot. But with 256 gigs and 12 gigs of RAM, this is not doing bad at all.
No, it's good.
Up next is the App of the Week segment. This is a segment dedicated to app demonstrations. Should you have an app that you would like to demonstrate for our listeners, feel free to send us the recording of such an app demo to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And now for this week's episode, here's your app of the week.
And now we turn to our final section this week, and it's our app of the week. And Warren demonstrates another GPS app, Walker's Guide.
Hi, Warren here for Blind Android Users Podcast, and for episode 199 app of the week, this is demonstrating Walker's Guide, WALKERS GUIDE. This app is intended for those of us that would like to walk to places. This is coming to us from a German developer, Eric Scheibler. I probably mispronounced his name, but that's the app I'm demonstrating today. I am on the play page of the app, and the first thing I want to do, though, is to navigate to the About, so we'll hear the description of the app, and then we'll go back and open up the app and look at the UI and all the features that it has. I'll now find and tap on that About feature.
About this app heading.
I'll tap.
Google Play Store. Walker's Guide Details. Walker's Guide Details. Free navigational aid for the blind and visual impaired based on OpenStreetMap. Walker's Guide is a navigational aid primarily intended for blind and visual impaired pedestrians. It calculates routes and shows nearby points of interest. The project consists of an Android client and a server component. The latter performs the route calculation. The map data is provided by OpenStreetMap, a project to create a free map of the world. Main app features. Calculate routes optimized for blind and visually impaired users. Explore the layout of intersections. Show and track nearby POI. Simulate any street address. Import GPX files. Record your own routes. The application is fully accessible with Android Screen Reader TalkBack. Feel free to request new maps. Please visit https://www.walkersguide.org for more information.
And that's the description of the app. I'll now navigate back to the page and tap on Open.
Play Store. About this app heading in. Tell others what you think.
And now I'm going to tap on Open.
Open button. Walker's Guide. Main menu button out of list.
We're now in the menu eye of the app, and the first thing we heard upon opening was Main Menu, and at the same time I felt a vibration. Let's now navigate our way through the UI, and the first thing, as I indicated, is that Open Menu there on the top left corner. And now moving from that and going right, here are the items that we encounter.
Compass 46 degrees northeast button. Compass 30 degrees northeast. Compass
Each
29
time you leave it
degrees
on this and you move your
Compass
phone,
19 degrees
it tells you what's
Compass
going on.
6 degrees
Now I'm
north.
gonna
Compass
move
15
to the
degrees
next.
north. Position accuracy 3 meters button. Position accuracy 2 meters. Position
also would
accuracy
keep
3
moving.
meters. Position navigate.
And then next we have a text string that says navigate, and then one last button on the top right corner
More options button.
is the more options. We'll come back to both the main menu and the more options. Let's move on from here, and going downwards we come across
Selected navigate tab 1 of 2 in list 2 items.
So by default, we are in the Navigate tab, and that's selected, and it says 1 of 2. And then the next tab to that would be
Record tab 2 of 2.
It will be the Record tab. That's all that we have near the top part of the screen. And now moving to the bottom part of the screen, here's what we encounter. Toward that bottom, we have some buttons and tabs. Before we get to the first set of buttons, we got
12 meters, slight left.
And if
Arrived
I
at
turn
route
it,
start point.
it says arrive at my destination point because I've created a waypoint, and which is my home. And now moving from there,
Previous route point button.
there's the previous route point,
Next route point button.
then the next route point, and that's the last of those buttons. And now below that are 3 tabs. The first tab on the left is
Overview tab 1 of 3 in list 3 items.
Overview to the right.
Selected, Routes tab 2 of 3.
It's the Route tab, and to the right of that,
Points tab 3 of 3.
and the last tab here is the Points tab. Let's now navigate our way back to the top and look at that open menu.
Main menu button out of list.
Let's tap on Main menu.
Plan route 1 of 10 in list 10 items.
So when we tap on Main menu, the first item that we encounter is Plan Route. In other words, if you want to navigate to an address, you need to tap on this and then type the address that you want to go to. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and then we'll come back and continue with the other items within the main menu.
Plan route. Start 46.555 minus 120.380 button out of list. Start 46.555.
So by default, it's telling you where you're going to be starting at, and it sees where you're located at, and then moving.
Actions for 46.555 minus 120.380 button.
There's an Actions button there. If we tap on that Actions button, for example,
Pop-up window. Details in list.
we have details. In other words, it's going to tell you the details of that, the latitudes and longitudes and things like that, and elevation and all of that. And moving down,
Pinned, not checked, checkbox.
moving on,
Tracked, not checked, checkbox.
you could decide to track the location. Next,
Location simulated, not checked, checkbox.
you could decide to simulate it. Next,
Add annotation.
add a little annotation. Next,
Rename.
you can rename that if that's something you want to give it a name. For example, I'm at home, and I could rename that to say home. Next,
Add to collections.
or you could add it to the list of collections. Moving on,
Route planner.
and the last item here in this Actions menu,
Share coordinates.
that's the last item. Now I'm going to go back.
Plan route. Actions for 46.555.
All right, now moving on.
Destination 202 East Seattle Avenue, Moxie, button.
Now that's the address of the local post office here in my little town. I had tried to navigate to that place. So if this is something you want to go to, you could just leave it as, or if you want to enter a new address, you could just tap there and change that address. So basically, this will be where you type the to address.
Actions for 202 East Seattle Avenue, Moxie, button.
And basically, it's the same thing as the actions for the location destination where you're starting from. Next,
Off show via points, switch heading.
and moving on,
Options button.
we have options for that as well.
Back button.
And last item here
Calculate button.
is the calculate. I will go back.
Walker's Guide. Main menu button.
Let's go back to main menu because it took me out.
Plan route 1 of 10 in list 10 items.
So that was the one we were looking at, was the planned route. And now moving on down,
Save current location 2 of 10.
you could save the current location that you located at if you want to. Next.
Open shared location link 3 of 10.
Next.
Collections 4 of 10.
There's the collections that I was talking about. If you add something to the collections, it will be in this folder. Next.
History 5 of 10.
You tap there to see the history of places you've been or things like that. Next.
Miscellaneous heading 6 of 10.
We now come across the miscellaneous heading, and below that,
Settings 7 of 10.
we come across the settings. We'll come back to the settings, but let's look at the rest of the items here in the main menu.
Info 8 of 10.
And
User manual 9 of 10.
the last item here
Contact 10 of 10.
is to contact the developer. I've been hounding Eric like crazy, and oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the settings, and let's tap on settings and see what we've got.
Settings 7 of 10.
Here's settings, and I'll tap here.
Settings. Home address nothing selected out of list. Home address nothing selected.
Here we heard home address, nothing selected. You could tap there to put in your home address. Moving on.
Walker's Guide server, heading.
And that's your server. Moving down.
URL https://ip.walkersguide.org/button.
Next.
Map North America button.
Map. And congratulations to Eric, because prior till now, there was no North American maps, and I hounded him about it. And in no time at all, we now have the North American. So if you're not in North America, you could tap here and choose your location. For example, if I tap here, just show you briefly.
Select map, Central Europe. Maps of
got
Liechtenstein,
Central.
Switzerland, Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary in list.
Wow.
Northern Europe. Maps of Iceland, the Faroe Islands, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania.
You got the drift.
Western Europe. Maps of Ireland, Great Britain, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands.
Moving on.
Southern Europe. Maps of the Azores, Canary Islands, Portugal, Andorra, Spain, Monaco, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, Kosovo, Serbia, Albania, Macedonia, Malta, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova, Cyprus, Turkey, and Georgia.
I'm learning a lot in my geography class. Next.
Checked North America. Maps
And
of
that's the
Canada,
one
the
that I've
USA, and
checked.
Mexico.
All right.
Central and South America. Maps of South Asia. Maps of Pakistan, India, Southern Zone, and Japan. Australia. Maps of Australia, Oceania, and Antarctica. Something missing. Button out of list.
And if your country is not there, there's something missing, you could tap on here and maybe contact him. Hey, put my area in there.
Cancel button.
And cancel is the last item. I'm going to go back.
Settings. Map North America button.
Now moving on from the map selection area, we come across
Off Prefer Translations, switch. If the map database has multiple languages stored for an entry, this setting ensures that the app outputs everything that's available in your set system language or, as a fallback, in English. For instance, the name of restaurants or attractions is occasionally available as an English translation.
moving on.
Public Transport heading.
We come across the public transportation, and below that,
Provider, none selected button.
providers. So if you tap here, you'll see the different transport providers that are available in your area. Moving on,
User Interface heading.
we now come across the user interface heading, and below that,
On Show Action button, switch. Alternatively, perform a long click to open the context menu.
in other words, it shows the options buttons, or if you don't want that, you could long press on something to activate. Now moving on.
Off screen remains active while the app is in use. Switch disables the auto lock screen feature during navigation.
And I do want to mention something here in passing, that one of the things that I didn't like about it, and I've complained to Eric about it, is the fact that if you shut off the screen, that voice guidance is not going to be heard. You have to leave the screen on, and that's the way you're going to be able to hear the verbal announcement of the streets as you move along. Now, moving on.
On Prefer the fused location provider for location determination. Switch. If enabled, you get more precise location fixes, especially within buildings. But on some devices it may cause accuracy problems during navigation. If so, you should disable the fused location provider here.
Moving on.
Shake intensity, medium, button, shake to refresh Where Am I dialog in Points tab.
In other words, when you shake it, it will tell you where you're located at. So shake it, baby, shake it, baby. Next,
Text-to-speech heading.
we now come across the text-to-speech engine, and below that we've got,
On Enable Speech Announcements, switch.
in other words, if you don't want to hear the speech announcement, that's verbal announcement telling you where to turn, you will turn this off. But what's the point, right? Moving on.
Distance Announcement Interval.
So the distance announcement interval is up to you as how you want to choose it to be. We've got
30 edit box meters for distance announcement interval.
We've got 30 meters, so every 30 meters it will tell you. We do not have imperial support yet, and that's another thing I've been hounding Eric about. Moving on.
Off. Keep Bluetooth headphone connection alive. Switch. Some Bluetooth headphones go to sleep after some time of inactivity and their subsequent awakening produces a noticeable delay. Then the start of the next voice announcement may be truncated.
Moving on,
Import and export heading.
we come across the importation and exportation heading.
Import application settings button.
Next,
Export application settings button.
and the last item here in the settings is
Close button.
Close button. I'll tap on Close.
Walker's Guide. Main menu button.
We're now back to the main menu, and now I'm going to go to that button on the top right corner. That will be the More Options.
More options button.
And I tap.
Pop-up window. Recalculate in list.
We've got Recalculate,
Jump to root point.
or you could jump to a route point.
Autumn. Skip to next checkbox.
So automatic, skip to next.
Show precise bearings, not checkbox.
And the last item here in More Options.
Show intersection structure, checkbox.
And I'll now go back.
Walker's Guide. More options button out of list.
Now let's go ahead and look at the last remaining tabs at the bottom. And of course, we're looking at the Overview is the first one.
Overview tab 1 of 3 in list. Pin. Selected.
We're now in the Overview tab, and the first thing we heard was pinned. And that's basically making reference to the address that is above there, and that would be my home. And then moving to the right of it
Track tab 2 of 2.
is the Track tab. Below that,
Expanded. 0 profiles pinned in list.
I don't have any profiles that are pinned. Moving on down,
Pin profile button.
you could tap here to pin that profile.
Expanded. 0 points and routes pinned.
Next,
Pin pointer route button.
next,
Here you can add point profiles and collections as well as points and routes for quick access out of list.
and that's the last item here from within that overview. The next tab is the one, of course, we've seen earlier, and that would be
Routes tab 2 of 3 in list.
we've
3
seen
items.
that because that was the first one that landed us on. And let's look at the last item here at the bottom, and that's the Points tab.
Points tab 3 of 3.
I tap,
Points. Nearby. 0 point profiles heading out of list. Selected.
moving on down,
Add point profile button.
you could add it. Next,
Please create at least 1 point profile to search for nearby points of interest.
and that's the last item there in the Points tab. And that's a quick overview of the Walker's Guide. I hope that we'll get the imperial measurement as well as the ability to shut off the screen while navigating. I tried navigating to my local post office with it and found out that I needed to leave the screen on in order to be able to navigate. And that concludes this quick demonstration of Walker's Guide. Thanks for listening.
I guess one of the good things about this is that at least the developer is quite responsive and talks to you, doesn't he? So you've managed to get some maps added to his server for North America.
Yeah, Eric is a nice guy, and actually he and I are planning on talking on Signal tomorrow. We were going to do that today, but I told him I'll be recording. So tomorrow he and I are going to be talking, and I'll talk about some of the concerns that I have, which he's already in the know of. Especially, I want to be able to have the screen shut off while I'm navigating, and right now that isn't the case. And then some other things that we'd like to talk about. But yeah, he's very willing to work on it. It says it might take some time for him to get some of those things in place, but at least he knows where the pain points are. So we'll see what happens.
So as it stands at the minute, we've had 2 relatively new GPS apps on this week and last week's episode. Do you prefer Walker's Guide or Candle?
So I prefer Walker's Guide, and here's why. As I indicated in my demonstration of the Candle, you have to touch the screen to know where to turn. as to the Walker's Guide that would actually announce where to turn as long as your screen is on. So that's the difference. They both will vibrate when you get close to that turn and all of that. But with Candle, you have to touch the screen to know where you're at. So that's the difference, and it's something that he's also going to work on. So kudos to the Germans. They're trying to bring something, and I hope we get something good that will finally be recommending for people when it comes to navigational stuff. I mean, I like my Lazarillo, don't get me wrong. I know some people have problems with it, but I still like Lazarillo.
And have you used Candle or Walker's Guide outside? Have you used them in anger, in the wild, so to speak, or have you just had a bit of a look at them?
I use them out in the wild, and that's when I discovered that I needed to leave the screen on for Walker's Guide in order to be able to hear those audible directions. And then with the Candle, I needed to touch it, and so it just wasn't. Remember, we talked about touching something in the pocket, and people would be wondering.
Indeed. And you have to be careful touching the candle because you'll get wax and burnt fingers, don't you, as well? So
exactly. But it's lighting your path, though.
It is.
I like the name, Candle. It's the most appropriate.
Yeah. Just the dribbly, melty wax on your shoes by the time you get there.
Exactly. Most especially if it has to be on. All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us.
That concludes our 199th episode. So please do join us next week. John, how can people get in touch with us?
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to blindandroidusers plus subscribe @groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
And please do say bye-bye to the nice people, everybody.
Again, thank you guys for listening to us, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Really, it's going to be a big celebration, so make it happen.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.